All right, so we're diving deep today, and I think you're going to love this one. We're taking a look at Power Query M formula language, specifically this Adobe Analytics.Cubes function.
Ooh, yeah.
And, I think a lot of people listening probably want to get some Adobe Analytics data into Power Query, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So, can you give us a quick overview of Power Query M? Like, what is this thing?
Yeah, Power Query M, you can think of it as like a specialized language that helps you connect and shape data from all these different sources. So if you've got, you're working with data from spreadsheets, databases, websites, Adobe Analytics, whatever it is, Power Query M is kind of like that glue that holds it all together and makes it make sense.
Okay, so it's the translator.
Exactly. It's the ultimate data translator.
I like that. Now let's zoom in on Adobe Analytics.Cubes. What's this function all about?
So AdobeAnalytics.Cubes, it's your direct line to pulling data from Adobe Analytics straight into Power Query. And specifically, what it does is it retrieves what are called multi-dimensional packages.
Multi-dimensional packages, now I'm going to ask.
Yeah, no, it sounds a little bit...
It's a mouthful.
It's a bit of a mouthful, right. But think of them like organized bundles of data ready for analysis.
Okay, so rather than manually downloading a report from Adobe Analytics.
Exactly, yeah.
We're using this function to be like, hey, send me that data.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, Adobe Analytics, give me the good stuff. I'm going to do some cool analysis over here in Power Query.
Perfect. Love it. So we can combine this data with other stuff.
Right, absolutely. And that's where it gets really powerful. So you could have website traffic data from Adobe Analytics sitting right next to your sales data from your CRM, marketing campaign data from another platform, you name it.
So a total 360-degree view of what's going on.
Exactly. You're connecting the dots between all these different data points.
Now, you keep mentioning multi-dimensional packages.
Yeah.
What's the deal with multi-dimensional? Help me wrap my head around that.
Okay. Imagine a Rubik's Cube, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Each side is a different dimension of your data. So one side could be time, another side could be location, another could be product category.
I see. So you're looking at the data from all these different angles.
Precisely. And that's what makes it multidimensional. You're not just looking at a flat spreadsheet. You're exploring all these interconnected layers.
And that gives you a much better understanding.
Way better. It's like going from a 2D black and white photo to a 3D full color movie.
Now, I did notice there are some optional parameters with this function. We've got hierarchical navigation.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yes. Hierarchical navigation. Think about browsing a website. Yeah. You can see individual products, right? But you can also view them organized by category and subcategory. Hierarchical navigation gives you that same kind of control over your data in Power Query. So, for instance, if you're analyzing website traffic, this parameter lets you group data by product categories to see which sections are most popular.
Okay, so it's all about making that data easier to grasp and analyze, right?
Exactly. You're basically choosing how you want to slice and dice your data.
Now, there's a couple more optional parameters here, max retro count and retry interval.
Oh, those are important ones, especially when you're dealing with, the internet being the internet.
Yeah, connectivity issues. They happen.
They always happen, right? So max retro count sets how many times the function will try to connect to Adobe Analytics if there's a little hiccup.
Like a temporary glitch or something.
Yeah, exactly. And retry interval controls how long it waits between those attempts.
It's like, let me try again. Maybe this time it'll work.
Exactly. And, it's better to try again a few times than to completely miss out on valuable data.
Of course. Wouldn't it be better to fix the connection problems in the first place?
Of course. Addressing the root cause is always the best solution, no doubt about it. But these parameters are like a safety net.
Just in case.
Exactly. Just in case there's a temporary blip.
Okay. Now, speaking of blips and hiccups, we were doing some research and noticed something about different API versions.
Yes, the API versions. So by default, this function uses version 1.4 of the Adobe Analytics API.
Right.
But there's an option to switch to version 2.0.
Is there any reason we'd want to stick with the older version?
Sometimes, you might be working with older systems that rely on the 1.4 API.
Compatibility issues.
Exactly. But generally speaking, version 2.0 is like the shiny new upgrade. It opens up a whole bunch of new possibilities.
What kind of possibilities are we talking about?
Well, you might get access to newer metrics that weren't available before, more advanced segmentation capabilities, or even just a more streamlined way of doing things.
Like upgrading from, a flip phone to a smartphone.
Exactly. You get access to all the latest and greatest features.
So choosing the right API version, that's a big deal.
Huge. it can significantly impact the depth and scope of your analysis.
Absolutely. And I think this is where it gets really interesting, right?
Oh, yeah. This is where the fun begins.
Because we can combine this Adobe Analytics data with all these other sources in Power Query.
Exactly. Imagine connecting website traffic data to sales figures, seeing how marketing campaigns impact user behavior.
It's like a data playground.
It really is. And the insights you can uncover are just incredible.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. So, to wrap things up, Adobe Analytics.Cubes is a pretty powerful tool for anyone working with Adobe Analytics data.
It's a game changer.
It gives you the flexibility to pull that data and really analyze it in a way that makes sense for you.
And remember, those optional parameters, they're not just there for show. Understanding them and choosing the right API version can make all the difference.
Couldn't agree more. And that's a great point to leave our listeners with. How might the choice of API version affect the type of data you can even get your hands on? Something to think about, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
So until next time, keep on diving deep, everyone.
Happy analyzing.